In the mid-1940s, Wing Chun master Ip Man, Donnie Yen, and his family flee Japanese-occupied Fushan and settle in Hong Kong. There, Ip hopes to open a school to teach his martial art and make a living in the challenging post-war era. However, his lack of reputation in the city makes it difficult to attract students. One day, a young man named Wang Lung, Huang Xiaoming, challenges Ip to a fight, but Ip easily defeats him. Humiliated, Wang returns with a group of friends to try and overpower Ip, only to be beaten once again. Impressed by his skills, Wang and his friends become Ip's first students, helping to grow the school and attract more disciples. Wang is caught putting up promotional posters for Ip's school by a group of Hungga students. After one of them challenges Wang to a fight and loses, his friends retaliate by taking Wang hostage and demanding a ransom from Ip. Ip goes to the wet market as instructed for the exchange, but the meeting quickly turns into a confrontation with a growing mob of Hungga students. Ip and Wang manage to fight their way out, only to be saved by Jin Shanjiao, a former bandit turned martial artist, who arrives with his own gang. As tensions rise, Hung Chun Nam, Sammo Hung, the leader of the Hungga school and head of the Hong Kong Martial Arts Coalition, steps in to break up the chaos. IP introduces himself to Hung, who informs him that before opening his own school, he must attend a special fighting ceremony to prove his worth. Shortly after, Ip, Wang, and Jin are arrested by Officer Fatso for disturbing the peace, but they are released on bail. It's revealed that Hung and Fatso are actually reluctant enforcers in a protection racket run by Superintendent Wallace, a corrupt police officer with control over the martial arts schools in Hong Kong. Hung tells Ip that in order to establish his school, he must first attend the ceremony where all the martial arts masters in the city will test him. IP attends the martial arts ceremony and easily defeats his first few challengers. When he faces Hung Chun Nam in the final round, the two engage in a fierce battle that ends in a draw. Despite his success, Ip is told he can continue running his school, but only if he agrees to pay monthly protection fees. Ip refuses to comply, which leads Hung to have his students harass and intimidate people outside the Wing Chun school, driving away potential students. This escalates into a street fight between Hung's students and Ip's disciples, forcing Ip to close his school and relocate closer to home. Frustrated, Ip confronts Hung, accusing him of exploiting his students, while Hung defends his actions as necessary for survival. As tensions rise, the two prepare to resume their fight, but in the heat of the moment, Ip stops Hung from accidentally kicking his son, who appears on the scene. This act of restraint earns Hung's respect. Ip walks away from the confrontation, and the following day, Hung, now quietly acknowledging Ip's principles, invites him to a British boxing match he helped organize, signaling a subtle truce between them. The boxing competition is designed to showcase various martial arts schools and promote Chinese culture, with a special focus on the sport of boxing. However, the event takes a dark turn when the star boxer, Taylor the Twister Miller, Darren Shalavi, an arrogant and racist figure, openly insults and attacks the martial arts students, causing chaos as the masters try to regain control. In an effort to defend his culture, Hung Chun Nam accepts Twister's challenge to a fight. Initially, Hung holds his own, using his broader range of martial arts skills to gain the upper hand. But in the second round, he suffers a devastating blow that severely disorients him. As the fight drags on, Hung's asthma takes its toll, and despite his determination to stand his ground and refuse to concede, Twister ultimately beats him to death. Hung's refusal to back down in the face of such brutal disrespect for his culture becomes a tragic testament to his resolve. The news of Hung's death spreads like wildfire among the Chinese community, igniting fury and mourning. In response, Superintendent Wallace holds a press conference, falsely claiming that Hung's death was an accident and downplaying it as the result of a few minor punches. Meanwhile, Twister, in a bid to clear his name, announces that he will accept any challenge from the Chinese in a fair, public boxing match. However, he arrogantly proclaims that he could kill every Chinese boxer in Hong Kong, mocking their bravery. Ip Man, having heard of the challenge, arrives at the event, ready to confront Twister and avenge the death of Hung and defend the honor of his people. As his wife goes into labor, Ip Man finishes his training and steps into the ring to face Taylor the Twister Miller. At first, the sheer power of the Western boxer seems overwhelming, as Ip struggles to match Twister's brutal strength. However, Ip soon begins to turn the tide, using his diverse martial arts techniques and incredible speed to outmaneuver the boxer. In the second round, Ip is hit with an illegal punch after the bell, and the judges change the rules, disallowing kicks for the remainder of the fight. Feeling cornered, Ip digs deep and remembers Hung Chun Nam's unwavering spirit and patriotism. This fuels his determination to continue. Ip alters his strategy, targeting Twister's arms to disable him and reduce his offensive power. The fight reaches a climactic moment as Ip unleashes a flurry of punches into Twister's face, the rapid strikes reflecting the memory of Hung's death at the hands of the boxer. Twister is knocked down, and as he struggles to stay conscious, the crowd watches in awe. While the Chinese audience erupts in celebration, news of Superintendent Wallace's corruption spreads, leading to his arrest after Officer Fatso secretly reported him. IP takes the opportunity to address the crowd, delivering a powerful speech about the importance of mutual respect between cultures and races, regardless of differences. His words resonate with both the Western and Chinese spectators, who stand in unified applause. Meanwhile, Twister's manager storms off, clearly dissatisfied with the defeat. IP returns home to be with his family, where he is finally reunited with his wife and meets their newborn second son, Ip Ching, bringing a sense of peace and closure after the intense battle. A final scene shows Ip being introduced to a boy named Bruce Lee, who wishes to study Wing Chun in order to beat up people he doesn't like. Ip smiles and simply tells the boy to come back when he is older.